He asks her for one simple thing, that they watch the sky together. He suddenly gets close to her and almost kisses her. It feels like things might develop between them, but it turns out to be just imagination. In the end, he smiles and asks her to have dinner together one last time. After that, they go out together to throw away the trash, ending the day on a sweet note. Topha keeps hugging her while Jin laughs, not realizing that the manager is watching them from outside the house. Later, the manager takes Jin to the cinema. He doesn't talk to her or say anything, and she feels confused and doesn't know how to explain what he saw. When she returns home, she's still worried about Topha, so she goes to his room to check on him while he's sleeping, but she finds him awake. He suddenly kisses her hand. She hits him and says, "Listen, from now on, there will be no hugs and no touching." She hurts his feelings and leaves. She starts taking pictures around the house and sends them to her manager, saying she's cleaning so he won't misunderstand. Topha grabs her phone and in a playful voice says, "What's this? You're the one cleaning, not me?" She hugs him because he's upset. He says, "What's this? You're touching me now? Didn't you say no touching or hugging?" Then he adds jokingly that he doesn't mind. She's the one who'll end up upset again. When Jin goes back to work, she feels extremely bored. She feels that she misses him and calls him. He answers, "You missed me, right?" She tells him, "No, I called by mistake," and then hangs up on him. Later, Kiss comes to see Topha. When he comes back and tells Jin about it, he finds her extremely upset. Then the manager calls Jin and tells her that he misses her and that he's on his way to her house so they can go out together. Topha holds her hand and asks her not to go out with him. He tells her that she spends the whole day with her manager at work and asks her to give him at least a little time from her day. He tells her that if she goes out with the manager, then she's choosing him, and when she comes back, she won't find Topha. He'll leave and return to America. Jin doesn't know what to do, but she finds herself telling the manager that she's very tired and can't go out. Topha follows her and says in front of the manager that she has to choose either him or the manager right now. The manager confidently replies that she will choose him because she loves him. Topha tells the manager to stay away from her and reminds Jin that no one dies from love. Unfortunately, Jin chooses the manager this time. The next day, Topha decides to leave for good. He packs his things and leaves behind only the headphones she gave him when they were young, so she'll remember him, meaning he no longer wants anything tying him to her. Jin is returning from work and meets him as he's leaving. She tells him that if he comes near her, she'll kick him out, but he comes close, kisses her, hugs her, and tells her this is goodbye. Jin doesn't understand anything and asks what he means by goodbye, but he doesn't answer and walks away. She goes inside and finds that he really packed everything and truly left. She starts writing and sadness becomes clear on her face. She tries to get him back and calls him many times, but his phone is turned off. Out of anger and revenge for leaving her, she starts doing everything she knows annoys him. She messes up everything around her, stops eating, becomes visibly weak, and drinks nothing but tomato juice. Her health deteriorates because she wants to die, thinking that will hurt him. Jin asks about him and is told that he now hosts a radio show and that his life is happy. She notices that his life is normal without her. Over time, Jin becomes completely exhausted. With no one by her side, she had grown used to having him around because he cared for her. She cries, not knowing what to do without him. Jin goes to the park where they used to sit together. She calls the manager and tells him she's sick and can't come to work. Suddenly, it starts raining, and the shock is that Topha appears. He explains that he forgot some things at the house and only came to get them. When he's about to leave, she tells him she's very sick, hoping he'll care for her like before. She asks him when he'll return home. He tells her he won't return until he hears the words he wants to hear from her. He leaves her like a child, then comes back again because he can't leave, saying he'll stay only until the rain stops, and asks her not to talk to him. The manager calls Jin, and Topha asks her not to answer. Jin listens, but Topha still leaves. Later, the manager comes to her after hearing she's sick and asks why she hasn't been answering his calls. Jin apologizes, explaining that she was sick. At the same time, Topha is looking at her childhood photos and returns her headphones, which she had kept. Jin tells herself that this time, Topha didn't promise to come back like before. She cries, thinking these are moments of farewell. Jin goes to the manager and suddenly asks to break up. She tells him that she was wrong and that he loves another woman, not her. She tells him that love fades and that he should go back to Kiss. She goes home, cleans Topha's room, and thinks about sending him a message. She does send it, telling him she broke up with the manager, cleaned his room, and asking him to come back, but he still won't return until he hears the words he wants. Jin meets the manager again and realizes that he doesn't love her. Even when she asked him to hold on to her, he never once said, "I love you." She tells him that Kiss truly loves him and that he loves Kiss too, and that it's right for them to get back together. Jin thinks about going to Topha's hotel to confess her love, but hesitates dates because of the 6-year age difference. She's surprised when she finds Topha entering the hotel. She tries to hide, but he sees her and tells her he's waiting upstairs. She tells him she's coming just to give him the rest of his things. He takes the bag and shuts the door in her face. She knocks again and says, "You know why I'm here?" He tells her that if he knew, he'd pretend not to. He says many fans could say the words he wants to hear, but he wants to hear them from her. She says the age gap is difficult, 6 years between him. He asks if he's wrong and closes the door again. She goes home alone, looking at all the memories of lovers who were once attached to her and suddenly left. The power goes out. Topha calls to check on her, but his phone battery dies. He panics, runs to her house, doesn't find her, searches everywhere, and finally finds her sitting in the park. When he sees she's okay, he sits beside her and says he'll rest for a bit and then leave. He asks them not to talk anymore, but ends up holding her hand and walking away with her. Later, Jin meets Keys and asks her about her relationship with Topha. Keys tells her that there are many fans and that she's one of them, but there's nothing between her and Topha. She's just an admirer and didn't mean to hurt her. Jin finally goes to the hotel again and tells Topha that she loves him. He says he didn't hear her and asks her to repeat it. She does, calmly. He hugs her, and she tells all her friends that she's in a relationship with him. They warn her to take care of him because he has many admirers. Jin starts following his radio program. He hosts 2 girls, and one of them tells him she's a big fan and loves him. Topha looks at the camera and says that he loves the most beautiful girl in the world, and she's watching right now, so he can't say anything else. Jin feels very happy. At bedtime, she talks to the giraffe he gave her and asks why he didn't come sleep beside her. She tells herself that cheap things are always cheap and worthless. She messages him, saying the giraffe is ugly. Topha comes to her room, hugs the giraffe, and she tells him she misses him too. The next day at work, she tells him she spent a long time preparing food for him. When he enters the kitchen, he finds nothing ready and asks if this is the food she spent so long preparing. When she appears, he laughs and says it's fine. He doesn't even understand what she cooked, but eats it anyway, so she won't be upset. She tells him that if he likes it, she'll cook for him every day. He tells her no, he'll do the cooking instead. Jin follows him, teasing him, telling him he's the reason she fell in love. She finally gets close to him. Meanwhile, Kiss goes to the manager and asks to get back together, and they do, because they truly love each other. Finally, Jin surprises Topha and asks him to close his eyes. She takes him to the zoo she promised to take him to when they were kids. She looks into his eyes and tells him, "I love you." And that's our series ends here. Please like and subscribe. See you in the next drama. Goodbye.